Conversation has to be part of the cure. It cannot be just one side talking about why the other is worse. Nothing gets better that way. So one of the things that we were talking about tonight is social media as a dominant force in our democracy, right? I would argue probably the dominating force. So how do we show balance in that?
See, I mean, there's just so many problems with social media being a force, right? I mean, because obviously the number one problem is it has no regard for the truth, right? That's a huge problem. Like, social media spreads things instantaneously. Shit can spread, but there's no way to rein in the truth or monitor the truth, or, right? It's like, you know, and in fact, because of the way it moves things, the way it propels things into like algorithmic virality, the gnarly shit travels faster, okay? If you go on social media and you say the N-word, you travel faster and further and with much more effectiveness than if you go on social media spreading a good message, okay? So it has created an environment where being outrageous, being a liar, saying something atrocious is like beneficial on social media. And because social media exposure has become the cornerstone, everyone is incentivized to say and do the worst possible things in order to achieve that engagement, in order to either get the fame clout or the moolah or both. And that's super problematic. It's a place that incentivizes the worst behavior.
YouGov economist poll that came out, I believe it was between September 12th and the 15th. So the poll started 2 days after the assassination of Charlie. And what they found was about 30% of self-described liberals between the ages of 18 and 39 believed that political violence was justifiable to advance political ends. 30%. Meanwhile, conservatives of that same age group were among the most peaceful. So you see this.
See, here's the problem, though, with this poll, guys, is conservatives are totally for political violence. It's just that violence gets executed by the cops, bro. They love political violence. It is always executed by the state. I mean, what do you think sending the National Guard into Chicago is? That's political violence. What do you think pepper spraying innocent people is? That is political violence. What do you think, like, cops shooting people, unarmed black men, and putting a leg on their neck while they scream, "I can't breathe," and murdering them? Okay, that is political violence. The right-wingers are engaged with political violence all the time. It's carried out by agents of the state.
Conservatives are getting more peaceful. Young conservatives were more likely to answer no, political violence is not acceptable, than their older counterparts. However, it was completely inverted, and there's one node on that graph that stands out like a sore thumb, and that's young progressives. So what I've learned is that there is a really sick thing happening somewhere in our culture, and we could debate where it starts from, but it is there, because when you saw what happened to Charlie, a father, a husband, a wonderful, wonderful person that I can attest in the privacy of I assume we're going to get to these leaked text messages. I will tell you, Charlie Kirk in private was more extraordinary than he was in public. He was more kind, he was more generous.
Dude, I don't fucking believe that for a minute.
He was more gracious, he was more loyal.
I don't believe that for a minute, bro. I mean, dude, if you're that kind and generous and nice, why are you such a fucking douche out in public? Right? You know, like, he was an abuser, a manipulator, a misogynist, racist, transphobic piece of trash, dude. Charlie Kirk was fucking trash. And I'm like seriously irritated that we are letting these clowns like sane wash and whitewash this motherfucker. Okay? Dude, he was so terrible, bro. I mean, dude, just a degenerate.
Truly, truly a man who lived his faith even in the quiet and in the private parts of his life. And yet there was people that were giddy. And that is disgusting. Now, I will tell you, I believe it was a small minority. I think it was a small minority, and it was so disgusting that we made a lot of noise about it.
Dude, but again, I have problems with this. If people want to be giddy over someone dying, that is their right, bro. Okay? You know what I mean? When Donald Trump dies, I'm going to be positively fucking giddy. And I'm not going to feel any shame about it. I'm not going to have some fucking 41-year-old jackhole from TPUSA tell me I need to feel bad because I'm glad Trump is dead. Okay? Like, you are allowed to feel however you want. There's no requirement that we mourn racist, misogynist, transphobic pieces of shit. Okay? And these guys, these fucking hypocrites who cry about First Amendment, Charlie, First Amendment, and then the minute something bad gets said about Charlie, they're like, oh, boo, we want to take away your First Amendment. It's like, fuck you. Then you guys are all hypocrites. You don't get to do it both ways. All right? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, my God, dude, every trans person in America was probably celebrating Charlie Kirk being dead. And why wouldn't they? He did everything he could to hurt them, to make their lives difficult, to turn young people against them, to try and make it so they, people thought that they didn't exist. Like, of course, they should have been celebrating. Like, they have a right to be mad. Every young girl who got told she should quit college and go, birth some kids for some mediocre white man. Meanwhile, Charlie's wife has multiple graduate degrees, but Charlie's out there trying to convince women to become, mothers and indentured servants of mediocre white frat boys. Like, those girls probably felt like, man, I'm glad he's gone. And why not? Let them grieve that way, okay? Like, this idea that we have to show some sort of grace to Charlie is like, fuck you. Charlie never showed us grace, okay? When the professors on his list were getting death threats and they asked to be taken off the list and people tried to shut down that list, he showed them no grace, okay? When the children died in school shootings, he showed them no grace. Not even enough to say, like, I'll pray for them. It's really sad that kids are dying. He went out there and said, some gun deaths is okay to have the Second Amendment. I'm all right with that. I mean, this guy showed no grace. So when Charlie dies, fuck him. No grace, okay? And that is not a sign that I'm a bad person. It's a sign that I'm a legitimate fucking human being. Charlie Kirk gets the same grace he gave us, okay? And so fuck him. I am tired of this policing from them, okay? This demand that I have to grieve or be nice to this terrible fucking human being. Right? No way. He showed no grace. Dude, he was despicable. He was a despicable prick right up until the bullet getting fired. The last couple of sentences he said were just more of his despicable nature. You know what I mean? Like, fuck these guys.
The study shows lethal deaths, lethal violence. Lethal violence comes disproportionately from the right. The Tesla attacks were not lethal. We can point to the Buffalo shooting, the El Paso supermarket.
I let you talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wow. All right. So there's a whole bunch.
I tried to debunk my study, so.
Is it your study? Did you do it?
I did not do it. But keep
What is your point, sir?
My point is that time and time again, whether it's
his point is he's an arrogant fucking prick. Is his point. This guy, Kolvet. Dude, yeah, pro-gaslighter, smug, arrogant fucking prick, bro. Right? That also is probably a real tough guy when he's got, some Trump-funded bodyguard or whatever walking around protecting him, dude.
There's a whole bunch.
I tried to debunk my study, so.
Is it your study? Did you do it?
I did not do it. But keep
What is your point, sir?
My point is that time and time again, whether it's the Aaron Burnett on CNN, God bless her, she tried to quote the same study. They didn't include a lot of what we would consider left-wing violence in that study. Okay.
Oh, so here he goes. So now he's like, I take issue with the study because we want to determine what violence is. A king, a Tesla, is just as violent as shooting someone. Saying a bad word about Charlie is just as violent as the fucking Desmond Holley shooting up a whole school. Fuck you!
Second of all, my dear friend was just killed by left-wing violence, assassinated in cold blood.
I mean, dude, yeah, this guy is really smarmy. Now, one thing I will say is this, okay? Dude, Charlie Kirk's killer was not left-wing. They need to stop saying that. Like, I want that fucking challenge. This guy was not left-wing at all, okay? Not at all. There's no evidence of that except his homophobic mom's statement. But I do want to say Trump absolutely creates a culture of violent thought and behavior. He's an escalator, okay? Trump says, I'm sending the National Guard in. And the city says, I don't want you to send that. Please stop doing that, Trump. And Trump's like, now I'm going to do it double because you said stop. And so Trump no longer like observes consent. Okay. Trump does what he wants. And it doesn't matter if he's breaking the law, fudging the Constitution, or fucking people's consent over. Trump just does whatever the fuck he wants. Okay. Now, protesting masked marauders on the streets, that's not violence. That's like sensible. Okay. If we had masked marauders running around picking up Christians, I would hope the fucking right-wingers would protest, right? Or would they just take it up the ass? Like, come on, man. If the government had masked people running around just sending Christians to concentration camps, would you guys not fight back? Like, would you just be like, oh, okay. Oh, let's go to the concentration camp. You know, fucking idiots. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.